It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. I am Marco Nobles. We have our virtual studio open, and joining us in the virtual studio right now is national independent recording artist Jay Brown. What's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm good, man. We were just talking off mic. It's our first chance to actually kind of meet, even though we've been around each other. Last year you performed during Harlem Week that I work on with radio legend and musician Jeff Fox.
The phenomenal Jeff Fox. Yeah, man, he's one of a kind. Great brother right there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So now you have the new single out, "Baby I Can."
Yes, sir.
You know, talk about the process because last year when you were performing with Jeff, it was a different. You were kind of working a different record or off the heels on the tail end of a different record.
Yes, yes. This is one that I produced and I wrote, and it's one of those records that all my music is pretty much catered to women, and just
Mm,
experiences, that we all have probably experienced through love and a heartbreak and things of that nature. But with this particular song, it's just focusing on a woman who was once in a really bad situation and then she ultimately ended up with a better guy, and so I'm explaining to her in this song uh, of all the reasons as to why and how I can go about treating her better because she deserves it, so that's basically what the song talks about, and the focal point is just love like always and just treating women the right way.
right, right, right. Let's backtrack a little bit. Let's start kind of from the beginning. So where are you from originally?
Originally from Detroit,
Okay.
Michigan. And so I've been doing it. My father was a pastor. My mother, at one point, she was this close to being signed to Motown Records.
Mm,
But throughout the years, I just, kept grinding, as they say, and entering talent shows and just trying to keep myself polished, so to speak. And to the point where I landed a lot of record deals and major deals. And then from there, we all have those fluctuation points. So, of course, I stepped away from it and I got back involved. And here
mm.
I am again in 2022. I've been back doing music now for approximately 2 years with
Oh wow. Okay.
five top 10 Billboard charted records. So it's a blessing. So I feel like I'm right where I need to be.
Right, right, right. Everything happens, in its time, in its right time, in divine order,
Exactly.
so to speak.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
You know. So you said you kind of got back into it 2 years ago. So were you always, writing and producing all your own material, or is that something that when you came back differently and said I have to do it this way?
You had to completely restructure who I was as an artist. That's not why I stayed away from music. I was actually done with music. But then my
Mm,
manager, he convinced me to get back involved. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm always singing. I'm always recording. I might as well give it another shot. But from the music that I did back in the day, it was still R&B, love songs. But now that I'm a little bit older, I just wanted to restructure like my message,
hmm.
from a male's perspective. And so when you hear my music, you'll get a combination of an old school feel, and by old school, I mean it can go as far as like the 80s, the 70s, to the
Mm.
90s, to the 2000s, and then I'll fuse it together with this modern sound. So I like to give people that great R&B that we all have been missing for quite a while because at
Mm.
this point it's kind of a rarity. No one's really doing it. But hey, I'm trying to be one of those that put it back on the map.
Right, right. I hear you. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. We are talking with national independent recording artist Jay Brown. Um, when you stepped away from it, like how long was that gap from the time you stepped away to when you decided to come back?
Approximately 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then you saw what better yet, what were the differences you saw when you came back versus when you left? Because you came back in a different world. 12 years, especially over these last so many changes going on in the last 10, 15 years in the music industry. What did you see when you came back from when you left?
Uh, in terms of the change, I noticed that no one was really singing anymore. It was all about just, you know, exploiting women, just degrading women, degrading people. Like people were, I thought they were degrading themselves just on every level.
Hmm.
And I guess it sells for some people, but that music that I grew up on when, some would refer to it as baby making music. Like that just no longer
Mm,
existed. So when I
mm,
came back, I said, man, the industry is just, it completely changed. And so I said, do I conform or do I just continue doing what I've always done? And I said, you
mm.
know what, I'm not going to conform. If I conform to it'll be to a minuscule type of degree. It'll just be enough to kind of keep the young people, interested, but I still want to keep that real R&B feel going because that's what I grew up on. So it changed a lot, but I mean,
Mm.
again, I just decided to stay true to myself and my craft. So hey, it's like you either like my music or you don't. Hopefully, people will, but I just stayed to what I knew best, and that's just
Right.
giving people real R&B.
Right, right. Uh, so you mentioned before that you were on the verge of being signed to a number of different deals when you were in the industry before. You've come back as an independent artist. Did that experience with uh, getting or almost being signed to various labels and all that? How much did that help you in your return, so to speak, to the industry?
So interestingly enough, I've had three major deals. So
Hmm.
I was signed in the past. I've had major deals.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Right.
yeah. So I never was independent. I was always signed to a major label. But coming back, I said, do I want to sign to a major? Because everything has changed. Like I said, it's just a completely different industry. And so I said, you know what? Let me make a conscious decision to really sit back and think to myself and say, you know what? If I sign to a label, I know it's going to be a dictatorship. I know they're going to do what they do best and just take control of everything. And I
Right.
said, so I don't want to, I really don't want to go that route. But then with the progression that I've had rather over the past 2 years, um, five top 10 Billboard charted records as an independent artist. Uh, at that point, record labels started to reach out to me, and then I finally decided to do a merger through my label with SRG/Virgin Records.
Mm.
So yeah, so now I'm signed again, still through my company, but with a distribution deal through a major label, and I have some form of control at this point.
Right, 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 right.
Yeah,
That's and that's an important lesson for other artists in a similar situation that it doesn't have to be independent or nothing. It can be you can be independent and have a distribution deal and still retain your integrity in terms of what you want to do as an artist.
exactly, and that's important because if you lose sight of that, or if you allow someone to just completely just extract it from what could be great, because a lot of labels, I think they just don't. It's the focal point is just mostly just selling records,
Hmm.
getting those streams. It's not about, well, what makes the most sense in terms of the artist and the artistry. Like they just think of numbers versus let the artist do them, let them create what they need to create to give out the best music possible.
Hmm.
But it's all a business, man. So you gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta make the best decision for yourself, and just hopefully a label will believe in you enough to let you just kind of do your own thing. But in my case, they believe in me enough to allow me to do my own thing. So it's a
That's
blessing.
that's great. That's great. You mentioned the five top 10 Billboard singles over the last 2 years. So at this point, there's got to be an album project coming soon.
Yeah, no, so the album's already out. So
Oh, okay.
when I got
I missed
when I
that
got
part.
oh yeah, no, so good. When I got back involved in music, so my initial single in 20 early 2020 was entitled Sunrise Sunset, or it's entitled Sunrise Sunset. And then from there we dropped Give It To You, and then we dropped Moon, and then we dropped Vibe. And now my new single, well, my previous single with Tank was entitled Don't Rush,
Mm,
and my new one is Baby I Can. So yeah, we've been just, the progression has been insane. So we're just trying to just keep putting it out there, keep giving people what they want.
right, right. So I should have asked this. Then there's a new album that's got to be coming.
Yes, 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 correct. Yes, my apologies. So from those singles, we put the album out, and the album is entitled Chapter and Verse. That's chapter
Okay.
and verse because I'm a PK, better known as a preacher kid. So
Right, right.
it's not a gospel album, but my life is a lot of chapters and verses. So that's how we came up with that title. But it's on all digital platforms, chapter and verse. And we, in fact, we just dropped the deluxe version of chapter and verse. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a lot of soulful R&B. So please, please, you guys check it out. Follow me on Instagram at J Brown Music Only. Stream my music. Little short guy, that's me. It's great music, man. And it's something that not only uh, uh, the younger generation can listen to, but the older generation can listen to it as well. So it's something for everyone. Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. It's Rhythm and Soul Radio. We've been talking with Jay Brown. The album is Chapter and Verse, as you just heard. It's
Yes, sir.
available everywhere. Follow him on Instagram, like you said. And all social media is Jay Brown, right?
Yes. So all my social media is J Brown Music Only. Just the letter
Okay.
J, my last name Brown, Music Only. And if you go to like Spotify, just type in J period Brown, and all of my stuff will pop up, or Wikipedia me, or Google. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely follow Jay Brown and keep listening to Rhythm and Soul Radio where we're playing Jay Brown. This is Jay Brown, Baby I Can, Rhythm and Soul Radio. Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all check it out now, man. Hopefully y'all enjoy my new song, Baby I Can.